Live. From Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
And welcome to the ABC4 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Emily Flores. Glenn Mills has the night off. New details in the deaths of 8 family members in Enoch. Tonight, we are learning more about the man accused of killing his 5 children, his wife, and his mother before taking his own life. ABC4's Courtney Johns joining us live in studio with the very latest. Courtney.
Yeah, Emily, during a press conference almost 2 weeks ago, police told us they had been called to the Haight's home a couple years earlier, but they wouldn't say anything else about it. So we filed a records request, and tonight we have a copy of that police report.
We had been involved in some investigations with the family a couple years prior.
2 years, 4 months, and 8 days before police found the bodies of 8 family members shot and killed, records show they were called to the Haight home over child abuse concerns. According to that report, one of Michael's children told police the abuse had been going on for years, including one instance where the teen was afraid he was going to kill her, saying he choked her. Police say Michael denied ever hurting his daughter, but later said if he had indeed done these things, it was not meant to be an assault, adding the teen is mouthy. Closing the case, the officer states he and the Iron County Attorney's Office agreed criminal charges would not be appropriate. While the Enoch City Police Department did not return our calls, the Iron County Attorney's Office released a statement saying the police department did not send the official report to their office, but they did discuss the case over the phone. Writing, quote, this conclusion was likely based on an inability to prove each element of the offenses beyond a reasonable doubt and or statute of limitation barriers.
We don't know why this happened. No one will probably know what was going through the minds of these individuals.
While the officers didn't appear to interview Michael's wife, Tasha, it does state when the officer told her Michael would be returning home, she asked if the family would be safe. The officer responding there is no indication Michael would be violent.
What if I had done this? What if I had done that? Those aren't very good questions to ask.
860 days later, police say Michael killed his 5 children, his wife, and mother-in-law before turning the gun on himself.
The question to ask is, what do we do now?
And we just heard back from the city's manager, who has been the point of contact for this case since the story first broke. He told us he does not have the expertise to comment on police reports. According to this report, the teen also expressed concern over how Michael treated Tasha, saying he took away her phone to keep her from leaving the home. Police reported Michael admitted to doing that. Back to you.
All right, Courtney, thank you. And tonight, a powerful story of compassion after a driver plows through a business storefront, killing an employee inside. Tonight, we know the woman killed was 51-year-old Roseanne Davis of Tooele, a wife, a mother of 2, and a woman of service. The family sharing with ABC4 tonight that Roseanne worked as an office manager at Ensign Engineering and Land Survey for the past decade. It was Monday morning when authorities say a driver suffered a medical episode, lost control, hopping the curb and crushing into the storefront at 169 North Main Street, killing Roseanne and injuring another at the company. Tonight, the Davis family, still reeling from the loss, wanted to thank first responders and the public for the outpouring of support, but also wanted to be sure to ask the public to include the driver and his family in your prayers as well after this tragic accident. Roger Davis saying his family, his wife, Roseanne, blessed everybody she knew. And this outpouring of care, concern, and support is all a testament of who she was as a woman. Roger adding, in honor of Roseanne, for all of us to remember life is precious, encouraging us to express our love to our families and embrace them a bit more tonight. And in other news, a big announcement from the Salt Lake Bees. They are moving the team out of Smith's Ballpark in Salt Lake City and heading to South Jordan. South Jordan Mayor Dawn Ramsey saying she's thrilled about the change.
We're excited to see the future of the 1,300 acres of undeveloped land in the Daybreak community.
But what does this mean for the ballpark neighborhood where baseball has been a large part for decades?
I am heartbroken and I'm disappointed, and I've been hearing from neighbors all day, and 80% of the feedback is devastation.
Amy Hawkins serves as chair of the Ballpark Community Council and says she's been hearing rumors about this move for more than a year now. But now that it's actually happening, she's finding it hard to be optimistic about it. Hawkins says with the ongoing safety concerns in the ballpark neighborhood, she understands why the Bees are moving to South Jordan. Some residents say they'll miss the excitement of having the stadium nearby.
It's been fun seeing how active the neighborhood is during the games and everything. And I've also liked how bustly it is, and I'm gonna miss that a little bit with the Bees being gone.
Okay, so what the ballpark will become, that's still undecided at this point, but Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall saying the city is looking for options to change Smithfield into something that will benefit the community still, and she's asking the community to share their ideas and input. All right, let's head over for a first look at the forecast after quite an active week so far. Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy joining us with that. Hey, Alana.
Hi, Emily. Soggy conditions persist out there as the storm system exits the state. I'll show you exactly where on the storm tracker radar. It's in northern Utah, where we still have some bands of snow in portions of Salt Lake County, eastern side of the state. As we zoom in, we'll take a look at Salt Lake County. That was under that winter weather advisory until about 8 o'clock. You can see coming off the lake here, portions of Davis County. It's right there on the line with temperatures, so it's fine snow. It's not totally sticking in areas, but we've got soggy conditions and icy conditions. Tooele County also part of this, up towards Cache Valley too. So we know it's not over yet, but this system, it is exiting. But we hold on to our alerts at this hour with a winter storm warning in the south and a winter weather advisory scaled back. And now for the central and eastern portion of the state as the storm tracks to the east. Winter storm warning south of Moab, Blanding, picking up a lot of snow. Let's take a live look out there right now, giving you an idea of what's happening in Cedar City. So the southern portion of the state here showing the snow still coming down in Iron County and the Iron County Mountains. Tapping into this, so is the Cedar City Airport. Accumulations continue in that spot. Now, we have been dealing with snow and rain for the last several days. As we talked about the weekend, we know that storm came in, and the mountains, we've seen those totals holding on. Let's take a look at some of these numbers because, folks, they're unbelievable. 51 inches at Alta, more than 4 feet since Saturday at noon at Brighton, and Alta Sundance getting 38 inches. Solitude at 27, Deer Valley getting 26, Snow Basin doing well, Provo Canyon getting 21 inches. Boy, that's a lot in Park City and Snowbird and Powder Mountain. Across the board, very healthy totals out there. And we're not done. This system's going to exit. We get a brief break, but another storm on the horizon. I'll break it down coming up in my full forecast. Emily, back to you.
All right, Alana, thank you. Well, the 2023 legislative session kicking off today at the state capitol, and among the hundreds of bills that will be introduced, there will be a number of water conservation and appropriation bills. Some bills call for reduced water use at schools. Others hold golf courses accountable each year to disclose how much water they are using. ABC4's meteorologist Nate Larson spoke with the Department of Natural Resources about what critical efforts are being made in the water conservation arena.
Water conservation is the big one, right? So whether that's how we use water in our lawns and our gardens, whether that's just using it more efficiently. Last year there was an appropriation of $250 million for secondary meters to be installed, and so that process is underway. But really, how we water our lawns matter, and then also what our landscaping is.
All right, even with our incredible snowpack numbers you heard from Alana and a very optimistic outlook on this current water year, conservation is still a pressing matter. For ways on how you can conserve, you can visit slowtheflow.org. And now to a couple of bills aimed at getting rid of sales tax on food. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle pushing two separate bills with the same goal. ABC4 chief political correspondent and anchor Glenn Mills is at the Capitol tonight talking with the Republican and Democratic lawmakers who are both hoping to make groceries cheaper for Utahns.
Over the next 45 days, lawmakers will be debating hundreds of issues here on Utah's Capitol Hill. One of them will be familiar because it was a debate that was had last legislative session as well. Welcoming in now Representatives Judy Weeks-Rohner and Rosemary Lesser. Both of you ran bills last year to eliminate the sales tax on food, doing that again this year. Representative Weeks-Rohner, let's start with you. Talk about how Utahns are feeling about this issue. You actually have some data on that.
You know, there was a recent poll that was administered, and it said the majority of Utah people would rather have the removal of the state portion of the food tax instead of an income tax. I believe that as a representative that we should be listening to those people and do what's best for the citizens of Utah.
A lot of talk about tax cuts. In fact, the governor, legislative leaders really looking at a historic level this year. The two of you think that should be included in that tax cut, eliminating the sales tax on food. Both of you are running bills. Representative Lesser, let's talk to you a little bit about what you see as the need for this and why this would be a good option when you're talking about cutting taxes.
Well, the thing about this tax is it comes at a time when inflation has been at an all 40-year high. We're grateful that it's starting to come down, but still food inflation costs have been so significant for Utahns. And this is one way that our state can eliminate a tax that affects everybody and do it simply at the register and do it quickly.
Both of you ran bills last year, doing it again this year. What's the feeling going into it this year after coming up short last year?
Well, at least we've got a little bit more discussion this year than we did last year. And I think that if we continue the discussion, we are going to win. We are going to remove that horrible tax.
What will it take to get everyone on board that wasn't from the previous session?
I think it's education. They just need to learn a little bit more and understand how the tax on food impacts everybody. Now, I've heard that the reason I'm doing this is just to help the poor. That's not true. We have a little card that helps the poor. We have other things that help the rich. I'm really concerned about the working person, the person like you and I, where if we remove the food tax, we would notice it every single time we went to the grocery store. An income tax, we notice it once a year. I believe that this tax was promised to the people that it would be removed years ago. It wasn't. I now believe not only is it a tax issue, it's a moral issue. We owe it to the people of Utah to remove the state portion of this sales tax.
This is a bipartisan issue. Representative Lesser, a Democrat, Weeks Roner, a Republican. Talk about that nature and coming together on both sides of the aisle.
Well, it's interesting because Representative Weeks Roner and I were both involved in the referendum back in 2019, where both of us sat at grocery stores gathering signatures, and so we heard from the voices of the people. This initiative all across the country has been bipartisan, from the Democratic governor of Kansas to the Republican governor of Virginia. But even if you go back to Utah's own history, we have seen Governor Matheson in the late 70s commit to ending the tax on groceries. Governor Huntsman has also had suggested this very same initiative and indeed did lower the income tax rate. What Representative Weeks Roner and I would like to do is eliminate it in its entirety.
All right, we thank Glenn Mills for his excellent work out at the Capitol. Both candidates continuing to encourage the public to call your state representative to have the state portion of the sales tax on food removed. Now, it doesn't matter which one you support, it'll take some action, they say. Coming up, an urgent plea for help from an Arizona community cut off from city water supply amid the drought.
And there's that live look at Little Cottonwood Canyon. Goodness gracious, you can see that car at a crawl with snow-covered roads. Our mountains just hammered since the weekend with heavy snow. Wet weather calming down, but for how long? Answers in Utah's most accurate forecast.